So a few months ago, I was in Addis, just visiting some family, and I had caught a ride, and it was, one of those BYDs. If you've been to Addis recently, you've seen these, Chinese electric cars, and it's probably good for Addis, just considering how much smog there is. But yeah, I got into the ride and I complimented the chauffeur on his car. And, as we were just chatting a little bit, he recognized that I was a diaspora based on my accent. It's really not that hard to tell. But, uh, you know, after he realized I was a diaspora, he started unloading on me about how bad diasporas were, how selfish they are. He had mentioned a few people in his own life who had left the country and how they weren't helping him out financially in any way. He started saying how the car he was driving, it was microfinanced and that's the only way he could figure to get ahead in Ethiopia by just driving for rides. So, I tried to sympathize with him. The situation in Ethiopia is, very difficult as everybody knows, but the way he was going on and on, I had to just start giving a defense for diasporas because, you know, a thing that Ethiopians in Ethiopia don't realize when concerning diasporas is that when they visit Ethiopia, whether it's every year, 2 years, 5 years, they save a particular amount of, money. Um, they purchase all these things they're gonna bring for their family, and then they come and they give those gifts, and then when they go out, they take people out to eat, they go out to drink, it's eh, and it sort of confirms a lot of the stereotypes that they have about diasporas when they're not realizing that this is a vacation for them. You know, in the West, and I'm speaking from, as an American, a lot of Ethiopians aren't doing these high level jobs. They're most definitely people who have gotten educated, who are doing, office jobs, maybe some are in the medical field, but I'd say the plurality of people are doing some sort of service work, and it doesn't matter if they're making minimum wage, whatever money they bring it to Ethiopia when it translates to birr is gonna be a lot. So they see that and they think, "Wow, if I could just go to the US, I could do what they're doing," but they're just not realizing that this is a vacation where they get to spend those few weeks just relaxing, reconnecting with family, and reconnecting with friends. So, I tried to explain this to the driver, and he just wouldn't have it. Um, so the reason why, and then this is my first video on this channel, and the reason what motivated me to make this channel is to sort of try to, elucidate what the diaspora community is going on because, the grass is not always greener. Living in the West, you could be in Canada, England, I don't know, but there there's so many things you face, cultural issues, linguistic issues, um, obviously financial issues. There's so many things that you have to face just to make it here. Um, and especially the younger Ethiopians, because we're into the second and third generations of people living in the West, and you know there are so many issues that especially the under 30s are facing right now that I don't think there's enough content on. You can find content about anything concerning the Ethiopian community, but I think in particular concerning the younger Ethiopian diaspora community, I think there's a lack of that. And what I'm hoping is to sort of just, give my take on that and, sort of, vent a little bit. Um, and also shout out to Life Talk and Galbagal. Those are two channels I think the only ones I'm aware of that are actually trying to address some of these cultural issues in the West. And just, letting people know that, there are a lot of issues here. A lot of them are hidden, and I think if this channel will be useful not only for the people here, but also for people in Ethiopia to realize what's actually going on. So, that's what I'm hoping to do, in making a video like this.